lunch together, brunch, and their lunch goes at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. Don't do like that. Have your breakfast, have your lunch, and have your tea snacks at 4 p.m. Then supper. Have your food at time. Then only you will be able to do your schedule in a proper way. See, exams are going on. I think by tomorrow the exams will be over for commerce students. If anyone who are maybe newly admitted or those who are learning here last years also, if anybody is keeping themselves away from that, such a case is not here. Sometimes I have joined yesterday. Ashish Benny says, sir, I joined yesterday. Today I can. And you know, sir, that I joined yesterday only and I cannot write the exam today. That I know. But what is your responsibility? You are taking a leave from the class. That should be informed me directly. Your leave should be informed me directly. Especially exams, you are not permitted to take leave. Even new students also. Even I know you have not attended the classes, but you attempt the exams. So that next exam you will be able to write in a better way. So attendance is very important. In any case, urgency you are taking any absence from the class, it should be intimated to me. And for the new students, other students know it. For the new students, I would say, to the lesson. You see, in the last class, we were talking about Tut and his tomb. Tut and his tomb. So, in the last class, we could see that the tomb of Tut was a large cave, I would say, or large pit around 26 feet depth, like a room, like a hall. And it has 3 layers, stories. In the first story, we had seen that a shroud is there and a golden painting of his face was there. In second one, there were a lot of things which he had to use his life after death. We could see after his resurrection, he will live for a long time, unending time. So things were kept which will not be destroyed, decayed. So many things are made of gold. We have seen. The last case, we could see the dead body, the mummy of Tut, which was fixed to the coffin. And it was damaged also. We had seen that because Harvard Carter used illegal measures to separate the mummy from the coffin. He might have used an axe to cut the resins. So the dead body was in damage. There we have seen. So Carter wrote later what was to be done. You see, he used a method. The sun can beat down like a hammer this far south in Egypt. And Carter tried to use it to loosen the resin. So all on a sudden, Carter did not use illegal measure. First of all, he understood that the heat of the sun in Egypt was very powerful. So if we keep this mummy, the coffin outside at the heat, at the sun, he thought that the resins may get melted. So he kept it outside. At that time, 1922. But what happened? The resins did not get melted. You see, the sun can beat down like a hammer these resins far south in Egypt. And Carter tried to use this to loosen the resins. For several hours, he set the mummy outside the blazing sunshine that heated it to 149 degrees Fahrenheit. Extreme heat. Nothing budged. Nothing got melted. Nothing got melted, budged, melted. He reported with a scientific detachment that the consolidated material had to be chiseled away. You see, next stage. Sun cannot melt this resin. So he has to chisel, cut with a hammer and chisel. Underline, the consolidated material had to be chiseled away from beneath the limbs and trunk. So underneath the body, the resins are fixed like a rock. It is to be chiseled under his body before it was possible to raise the king's remains. King's remains means mummy. Before taking the mummy up from the coffin, he took a method to chisel the resins in order to separate the mummy from the coffin. In his defense, Carter really had little choice. You see, underline. Little choice. Malavika, what is the meaning? Little choice. What is the meaning?
Choice.
Had no choice. I had one day told you about the use of little, a little, the little. When you say little without the article, it means no. Few, no. Few things, nothing. A few things, some. Little choice, there is no choice in front of you other than chiseling. In his defense, Carter really had little choice. If he hadn't cut the mummy free, thieves most certainly would have circumvented, get around, circumference, mathematics students, circumference, circumvented, or standing all around. Circumvented the guards and ripped it, tear it, remove it, rip off, remove. Ripped it apart to remove the gold. That's the main problem. Very simple thing. The thing is that why did Cart chisel the resins to separate the body? That's the question right there. Why did, question number 1 for homework, why did Carter chisel the resins to separate the body? The first 3 lines of the second paragraph. First 3 lines of the second paragraph. You see.
Can you say once more question?
Why did Carter chisel, C-H-I-S-E-L, chisel the mummy? Why did Carter chisel the mummy to separate mummy from the coffin? To separate mummy from the coffin. B.R. Antony, keep your video on. Okay. See, here you see. Attend here now. The sentence is very simple. Then you read it. Pyramid is there. When the pyramid is there, nobody will go and enter the pyramid. People will watch the pyramid from outside. Clear now? Clear now? Okay. Here what happened? Carter had opened the pyramid. Carter had opened the pyramid. That cannot be closed within 1 day. That pyramid cannot be closed within 1 day. It is not possible. So pyramid will be opened. And the pyramid is of large size. And it has a lot of murals, paintings. It has a gold coffin. Gold coffin. And the coffin is very large. It has 3 layers. It contained a number of golden utensils. Rijas, what is going on there in your table, on your table? So, see, many golden ornaments were there on the body of the king. A number of gold ornaments on his body. Around his waist, around his neck, and all these things. Clear now? This is the situation. Now, you look at me. The mummy is laid on the coffin, and the mummy's back, body's back, is fixed with the resins on the coffin. How can these ornaments be taken out? So, in this situation, Carter says, why did I chisel the resin? Because by chiseling the resins, the dead body got damaged. Clear now? That is the reason. Dead body, the mummy got some damage. Still, why did Harvard Carter took that measure to cut it? Because the pyramid contained most valuable gold ornaments. If Carter didn't cut the resins, he would not be able to take out the ornaments from the head, from the hand. Everything he has to cut it. Still gold will be at the back. Clear now? All the ornaments will be there. And Carter says, if I leave the mummy and the pyramid as it is there. Clear now? if I leave the open pyramid, the coffin and mummy there, what will happen? Since there are a lot of costly things in the coffin, thieves would come because people have seen all these things. Thieves would come and circumvent the guards, security. When people will go in the evening, at night thieves will come and they will give some tips or bribe to the security. And they may steal these costly things from them. So in order to protect the mummy and its gold ornaments, all the treasures, Carter took this measure to cut the chisel, to cut the receipts. Clear now? Understood? Now we will read it. In his defense of chiseling the receipts, the meaning will be complete. In his defense of chiseling, double L, chiseling, CHISELLING. In his defense of chiseling the receipts, Carter really had no choice. If he hadn't cut the mummy free, if he hadn't cut the receipts and made the mummy free, in this way the meaning is going. If he hadn't cut the receipts and if he hadn't made the mummy free, thieves most certainly would have come around, circumvented, would have come around the guards and ripped the treasures apart to remove the gold. If I didn't do it, the thieves will cut the body. That's why he took the measure. In Tut's time, the royals were fabulously wealthy. Greatly, fabulously means greatly. Very, very rich. Kings were Egyptian pharaohs. Egyptian kings were very, very rich. And they thought or hoped that they could take their riches with them. Why did these kings kept riches with them? They thought that when they go, when they die, they could take all the riches with them and it would help them in their life after death. In their life after death. So the underlying fact of accumulating, the underlying fact of collecting, the underlying fact of amassing wealth. Why? What is a single reason? Their belief in, can you say? Their belief in life after death. Their belief in life after death. For his journey to the great beyond, King Tut was lavished with the glittering goods. You see, for his journey to the great beyond, what is journey to the great beyond? Grishma, what is journey to the great beyond? What does it mean?
He lives after his death.
The life after death. That is the thing. In another way, life in heaven. Life after death can be hell also. But we think positively, isn't it? So the king was sure about his life after death. That is why he collected fabulous wealth. hut was lavished with glittering goods. What are they? These are all things what he collected. Precious collars, chains, precious collars, inlaid necklaces, bracelets, rings, amulets, ceremonial apron, sandals, sheaths for fingers and toes, sheaths for fingers and toes. All these things he collected with gold. And now, iconic inner coffin and mask. I just a minute, have a hold. Sorry for interruption. I saw a snake there in the courtyard. That's all. That's why I saw. Okay, sorry. Okay. So, all these costly things were there. He collected to separate Tut from his adornments, to separate Tut from his adornments, all these things, all his ornaments. Adornments here means ornaments. Carter's men removed the mummy's head. Carter's men removed the mummy's head and severed means separated. Severed means separated. And separated nearly every major joint. You see, Carter's people cut the mummy in all major joints. Once they had finished, they reassembled the remains on a layer of sand in a wooden box with padding that concealed the damage. The bed where Tut now rests. You see, once they had finished the cutting, taking all the ornaments from there, they reassembled the joints, the remains on a layer of sand in a wooden box. They made a wooden box and they filled the sand. On that they reassembled it with the padding. What is padding? What do you know padding? Padding, it is a soft filling material. Padding. When you purchase teddy bear and all these things, a soft material is there. So such soft filling material is known as padding. So they reassembled the remains on a layer of sand in a wooden box with padding that concealed the damage, that covered the damage. The bed were Tatnaurus. So now you see, you have to see the difference here. What we have seen in the whole paragraph was the scene that was seen, first scene, S-C-E-N-E, sight. The scene that was seen, S-E-W-E-N, seen in 1922. Clear now? So it was in 1922 when Carter first time opened the pyramid, everything was here. Now we are talking about 2005. When it was reopened for finding the secrets of his death, mummy was kept in a wooden box, kept filled with sand, and the mummy is there. At that time, the mummy is seen in a damaged way. Clear now? This difference, you should know it. Mummy was seen with all the gold ornaments in 1922. Carter's men cut the mummy in major joints and removed all these things, and it was reassembled by keeping it on sand and filling it. Archaeology has changed substantially in the intervening decades, focusing less on treasure and more on the fascinating details of life and intriguing mysteries of death. So, after 1922, archaeology, a science that studies ancient period, ancient culture, ancient people, antiquity. So archaeology did not give much importance to the wealth that was kept inside the pyramids. But archaeology gave importance to the intriguing, the complicated life and death of Tut. So the archaeological department tried to investigate, tried to search out what were the causes of his death. What were the causes of his death? Why he was no more at an early age, at his teenage. So these are two ways of understanding the things. You see, archaeology has changed substantially in the intervening decades, focusing less on treasure, and more on the fascinating details of life and intriguing mysteries. Intriguing is the adjective. Intriguing, complicated, the complicated mysteries of death. It also uses more sophisticated, the rest we will see tomorrow. Okay, now it is time. Okay.